Alrighty, so today I'm going to be drawing with a Lovein Sport Air G-622 0.5 millimeter sized gel pen for the first time. That is quite the video title, and that is quite the pen name, to say the least. And as a whole, I am looking forward to trying this pen just a little bit more so than not, in all honesty. Not because I am expecting particularly amazing things from it by any means, but instead because I'm not. I'm not expecting good things from this pen right here, frankly put. It feels like hell in hand. It has absolutely no weight to it at all. It also rattles quite a bit. This pen is not quality, to say the least. I really have no positive expectations for this pen when it comes to drawing and writing. And, well, that's pretty much the reason why I am excited to use this pen, in all honesty, because, well, for all I know, this pen might actually be really good for drawing and writing. I don't think it will be, but maybe it is. Well, there's only one way to find out, and that's to try using this pen right here for the first time. And so as such, that's exactly what I'm doing in today's video. But before I go ahead and actually get to drawing, I first off need to cover the overall look, quality, and feel of the pen. Then after that, I'm going to go ahead and get the cap all off, go ahead and just hold the pen, let you guys know what it feels like in hand, what the weight of it is like, and everything like that kind of thing. And then after that, I'm going to go ahead and grab my sketchbook that's off screen over here right now, and I'm going to go ahead and actually get to just drawing and writing with this pen for the first time. And then after that, I'm going to do an official drawing with this pen, and I'm going to let y'all know just how it is in general. And then after that, I'm going to go and give you guys my final thoughts on it. But first off, as said, we got to cover the overall look of this pen. And it looks much more cheap and much more basic than not, to say the least. The sort of pen portion right here has a very sort of silvery, sort of plasticky look to it, I definitely have to say. We can see there is a, I'm getting words all jumbled up. We can see there is a clear area right here, which initially appears as if it's actually black, but no, this is actually clear. And through this clear sort of band going around right here on the front of the pen, we can actually see the insert inside right there, which is pretty interesting if I do say so myself. I don't know if you guys can actually see it on camera, but I can indeed see it in real life. In black right here, it just says Sport Air right there, which is the name of this pen. Then down here, we can see the millimeter size for the pen. This is a 0.5 millimeter size pen, as we can tell. And then all the way up here, we get a semi-clear yet sort of smoked black sort of plastic cap, tip, whatever you want to call it, just right there. Moving on to the other side of the pen, we can see another clear area just right there with more of that silver, and in black it just says Lovein, and then there's some text right there. I think that's in Chinese, although I very well could be wrong in all honesty. It just says G-622 right there, and then there's some more text, and then it just has the barcode right there with the barcode numbers right there as well. And it's pretty much just informational stuff slash just stuff to help it actually sell in the store, such as the barcode on the back. Really nothing too much going on, in all honesty. Taking a look at the cap itself, we can see it is a smoked black clear plastic with a pure black tip right there, along with a pure black holder for the pocket mount thing, whatever you want to call this. I can't remember what the name for this is, but this just kind of stretches around into that up top there, as we can see. And this metal part, it's very stiff. It doesn't really want to move all that much. I'm going to go ahead and test this in my breast pocket. Does it slide in easily? You know, it does. It works pretty well. It slides in pretty good, you know what I'm saying? Certainly no complaints on my behalf about that. That is for sure. So this is quite the functional piece. And for how cheap this pen really does feel, it really is a surprise that they actually decided to use metal at all for this. Maybe it was literally cheaper to use metal than it was to use a plastic mold or something like that kind of thing. I'm not sure. But the main weight of this pen really does come from the cap, probably due to the metal on the cap. Once you take the cap off, it's just, it's literally feather light. Well, I mean, it's not quite feather light. It's not quite as light as a feather, but there's really no weight to it at all. And it just feels so light in hand. And it's just insane. And there's also that little bit of rattle kind of thing. Not great. Taking a look below the silver portion right here where the cap snaps on, we can see there's a bit of smoked black clear plastic right there. Then it goes to a little bit of a sort of a silicon sort of holder area. Then it goes to metal, then more metal, and then there's the tip right there. Does this come apart? It does come apart, no issue at all. Let's go and just put that right there. Let's just go and get the insert out, and we can see this is very much a slim insert. There's no information at all on the insert itself. We can see the back of the insert has no sort of cap on it or anything like that kind of thing. No big surprise. I mean, it's just a normal gel insert, looking gel insert, really nothing particularly interesting or anything super special. There's no text actually on the insert itself or anything like that kind of thing. So I don't even know what insert this really is. Probably a custom insert made by Lovein, but I don't know anything for sure. Let's go ahead and just get that back on there, just like that. And I suppose it's now time for me to go ahead and cover just what I think the look of this pen is really like, and cover what I think the quality is like and how it just feels in hand and everything like that kind of thing, besides ergonomics and whatnot. So what's the quality of this pen like? Besides the metal right here, it's pretty low quality. It's like on the same tier as a lot of Bic pens, in my personal opinion. It's definitely not high quality by any means. The only high quality thing about this pen is the metal clip right here. Overall, the weight of this pen is super sad. It literally feels just featherweight. Maybe not featherweight, but it's really light, and it's like disconcertingly light. It's way too light. I don't like it, frankly put. And it also rattles. The overall quality of this pen is pretty bad. The overall feel of this pen in hand is pretty bad. The overall look of this pen as well is pretty bad. It's just a cheap pen. That's what it is, frankly, but it's just a cheap pen. Let's go ahead and actually get the cap off, though, and just kind of hold it like this and see what the ergonomics are. That's the next stage to my review. And overall, while the grip itself right here is pretty nice, it does feel like it could go down a bit lower. Like, this feels like the most comfortable spot to hold the pen, to me at least, and I'm holding with my finger on the metal itself, so that's not really great. I feel like this really should go down just a little bit more, but it does not. And really, the worst thing about holding this pen is just the lack of weight. There's probably a little bit more weight towards the front of the pen than the back, unsurprisingly, because this is metal right here, whereas the back of the pen is all plastic. But it's really not like super noticeable kind of thing, and this pen is just super light. And let's grab like another pretty light pen and get the cap off. And like, while these are both light, this one just feels so much worse in hand. And it feels even lighter. Yeah, not great. Not great, frankly. But it really does. It doesn't feel like horrible in hand. It's not the worst pen I've ever used in pen. I've used worse, but it doesn't feel great. And for my hands, which are very much like medium-sized hands in my personal opinion, this pen also does feel a bit small in hand as well. It is definitely more front-weighted than not. As we can see, it's kind of tipping towards the front just like that. But yeah, it just really does not feel very good in hand. Definitely does not feel solid, does not feel quality, does not look good in hand, does not really feel good in hand. It's too light. Ergonomics-wise, it's like mid to low tier in my personal opinion, just due to the weight and just due to it feeling very, very, very small in hand. Not really the most comfortable thing to hold in my personal opinion. Not horrible, you know, it's usable, but not great, not great. Well, now that I've covered all that, I do think it's now time for me to go ahead and grab my Soho Urban Artist sketchbook that I have right here. And I think it's time for me to go ahead and, oh no, I messed up. I forgot that the last drawing video I made, I used up the last page in this sketchbook. So I actually need to grab another sketchbook real quick. I completely forgot. Oh my goodness. How could I forget? I have another sketchbook, thankfully. There we go. Right there. Still in the plastic. Still in the plastic. Let's go ahead and get this other sketchbook, which is the exact same sketchbook, all opened up. And let's go ahead. Now, put the plastic down on the ground, throw it away after this video. And today, I'm going to be drawing in my Soho Urban Artist sketchbook that I have right here. Let's go ahead and get this all opened up, and let's try to do as good of a drawing as I can on the first page. And what's better? What's the best drawing for the first page of a sketchbook? Well, in my personal opinion, it's a fish. So I'm going to be drawing a fish today. But let's go ahead and get to drawing with the Lovein Sport Air G-622 0.5mm size gel pen for the first one. Let's go and find out how this pen actually draws. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You know what I'm saying? Let's go and start off the fish with the jaw. So I'm just going to start like right there. And honestly, right off the bat, like I hate how this pen feels in hand. I don't like how it feels in hand. But right off the bat, the insert is very smooth. Very smooth. Just like that. Let's go ahead. Does the smear easily? I'm not getting too much smearing after having let it... No, I'm not getting any smearing at all after having let it dry just for a little bit. Let's go ahead and do an eye right there. And another eye right there. Some teeth now. Let's go and see if that smears. You know, a little bit of smearing, but not too much. And the ink itself is surprisingly dark. Oh. Oh no. Oh no, I've been dissing this pen, but I actually really like how the insert comes across on paper. Oh no, I do. I do like how the insert comes across on paper. It's quite nice. Oh no. I actually really like how deep and dark the ink is. I really like that. I don't know if it really comes across on camera, but you know, the ink really doesn't come across as being a lot more dark, a lot more deep of a dark black color than not. It's a very rich black color. The insert itself is quite smooth on the paper. Like, this is not the smoothest paper in the world, but it is smoother than not. And this, not feeling any sort of roughness from it. It's quite smooth to draw with, in my personal opinion. Feels quite nice, kind of on the paper. The pen itself feels like hell to hold. I hate holding it. It's actually kind of hard to use just because it's so light, and I'm just not used to using this light of a pen. But the insert itself, I don't mind it. Oh no, oh no, oh no. I actually like the insert. I do. Oh man. Oh no, I low-key wanted to dislike it just because I hate how this pen feels in hand so bad. And it layers well as well. Oh no. Oh, if thick it lets the line. Oh no. I actually like this more than some brand name pens. Oh man, how does it work at angles? Let's test an angle like that. Oh no, and it does angles like okay. Not great, but like okay. Better than some name brand pens. Oh no. Oh no. Why did they put this insert in such a horrible... Why did they put this insert in such a horrible case? This case sucks. Like, put it in a better case, please. If you're gonna make an insert this good, put it in a better case. Like, this is not the most amazing insert I've ever used by any means, but I'm just so impressed because the case is so bad. It's ugly. It has no weight. I don't like it. But the insert is nice. It's not a bad insert. It's smooth on the paper. It layers well. The ink is richly colored. Really, the main thing bothering me about using this pen to draw with is the weight of the pen. It's too light. It is so light. I don't like drawing with it just because it is so light. Other than that, though, no, this is, like, the insert itself is not bad. And, like, just doing that, like, let's just, like, it doesn't even smear. Like, wow, this is a 0.5 millimeter size pen with much richer dark ink than not that doesn't smear and has a nice smooth texture on paper. Not having any sort of problems with the pen skipping, not having any problems with the ink kind of fading in and out or anything like that kind of thing. This is not bad. This is not a bad insert. It's a bad case. It's a bad case. good insert. Oh, man. Why did they put this insert in such a bad case? What? I'm honestly kind of disappointed now. This would be so much, but this pen would be so much better if it was in a nicer looking, higher quality case than this. This looks like hell. Oh, man. I mean, like, this pen is probably not marketed as being something a little bit nicer. It's probably marketed as being a cheap alternative to Bic or something like that kind of thing. I'm not exactly sure. I bought this pen at the Pacific Mall in Toronto, Canada, which is like an Asian mall. And I imagine it's probably meant to be like some sort of Bic competitor or something like that kind of thing. Or maybe like one tier above Bic or something like that kind of thing. But the insert is actually nice. I actually don't mind the insert one bit. Like, it does angles well. Doesn't do angles badly. There's just no weight to the pen at all. And that is taking a lot of getting used to. Holding it kind of far back does help just a little bit, I will admit. But it's still not great. The lack of weight to the pen makes it a little bit hard to control. And that's really my main beef with this pen. And you know, it does angles quite well as well. I've said that before, but I'm saying it again. Oh, man. I'm actually, you know, I'm not disappointed that this pen is actually bad like I thought it was going to be. Like, I'm happy that it's good. I'm just disappointed that they put this good of a cartridge in such a bad form, in such a bad case. I am really disappointed that they did that, because this is not a bad cartridge. It's not bad at all. It's just fine. It works well, at least initially. I mean, like, who knows? It might not work well, like, in the future. Maybe it dries out easily or something like that kind of thing. I'm not exactly sure. This is just my initial impressions review, of course. Man, it would be nice if they actually put this pen in a nicer cartridge, though. Or not in a nicer cartridge. If they put the cartridge in a nicer pen, frankly put. Excuse me. That would be really nice if they did that, but who knows? Like, you know, smooth on paper, nice, rich, black ink. Or gel, I guess is really the right way of putting it, because this is gel. This is a gel pen. Smooth, rich color, does angles decently well. This is a better cartridge than I've used from name brand pens like Zebra or Pentel. I'm like, not all of them, of course. Like Zebra and Pentel still have better pens than this one, but I've used pretty bad pens from both of those companies before that are not very good at drawing and stuff like that kind of thing. I consider this to be better than some name brand pens I've used in the past, or at least the cartridges, but this pen looks so cheap, and it feels so cheap, and it has no weight to it. Oh, man, if they could just make this pen look a little bit better and just make it have a little bit more weight, oh, man, it would be great. It would be great. I would have no complaints on my behalf. I think part of why this pen is a little bit hard to control for me, though, is not just the weight of it. It's just the fact that it's a bit too small for my hands. But, yeah, I like the cartridge. I don't like the pen. Or, I like the cartridge. I don't like the case, is really the right way of putting it. Yeah, I think that's kind of my overall thoughts on this pen right here. Do I think this pen is worth buying? Surprisingly, I actually do think it is worth buying. I think it is worth giving a try. I really was not expecting to say that, but I do think this pen is worth trying. Don't go into this pen thinking it's going to be the greatest thing in the world. It's not, but the cartridge is not bad by any means. Well, is there anything else I want to do to this drawing? I think that's about it. I think that's about it for this drawing right here. Well, what are my overall final thoughts on this pen? The Lovein Sport Air G-622 0.5 millimeter sized gel pen. What are my final thoughts on this pen? Well, I gotta admit, you know, I'm somewhat impressed. I really had very low expectations for not only the pen as a whole, but the insert as well, the cartridge as well. I've actually been impressed. Would I buy this pen again? It's kind of on the cusp of saying yes, but on the cusp of saying no as well. Because while I really like the cartridge, because it's got really nice... Oh, my pen is now on 20%. I really like the cartridge, though. Works great at angles, nice, deep, rich color, smooth on the paper, good size. It's just a nice cartridge as a whole. Layers well, everything like that. I like that. That's something I appreciate. But it's so light, it feels so cheap, it looks like hell, feels like hell in hand. I'm not really... I don't like how this pen feels in my hand. I don't. I like the cartridge, though. So, honestly, I think I'm probably going to have to say, you know, I probably would not buy this specific pen again. But if there was another pen made by the same company with the same cartridge that was a little bit heavier, a little bit nicer looking, a little bit higher quality maybe, I think I'd pick it up. Or if the cartridge can go into another pen. I got to look at what the size of the cartridge is and figure out if I can fit it in any of the other pens I have. I'm going to be using the cartridge more in the future because I really like the cartridge. It doesn't smear, and I like it for all the reasons I previously mentioned as well. No, not a bad cartridge, but a bad pen. Yeah, that's kind of my overall thoughts on this pen. I like the cartridge. I don't like the overall feel of the pen as a whole itself. So would I buy this pen again? Probably not. Am I glad I bought this pen, though? Yes, I am. I am glad I gave this pen a go and found out how it was and everything like that kind of thing. Overall, some complaints about this pen right here, but, you know, not too many. And no complaints about the cartridge itself. I like the cartridge. I just don't like the pen as a whole. Overall, what is the rating I want to give the Lovein Sport Air G-622 0.5 millimeter size gel pen? I'm thinking this pen deserves a very solid 2 out of 4. Would be a very solid 3.5 out of 4 if the actual case itself was better. But no, it's a very solid 2.5 out of 4 just simply because it's so light. It doesn't really feel great in hand. Yeah, this is a 2.5 out of 4 for me. But honestly, if they could get the insert in something better, I would totally pick it up. And if I liked that, I would totally give it a 3.5 out of 4. Yeah, not great. Not great, frankly put. And really the only thing boosting this pen's rating is the insert itself. The insert itself is that good for it to boost the actual rating of the pen significantly. Yeah. Well, let me know in the comments down below if you guys have ever used this pen right here before. If you guys have, let me know in the comments down below what you guys think of this pen. Do you guys like it? Do you guys not? What are your guys' overall thoughts on this pen if you guys have used it before? Let me know in the comments down below. And of course, also make sure to like and subscribe for more content. I have my Instagram, my book, my merch, my P.O. Box, and my Instagram, my book, my merch, my P.O. Box, and my main channel all in the description down below. Go check it all out. But yeah, thank you so much for watching this video, guys. Till the next one, stay safe and peace, and have a great one. Yes, sir, and I'm saying.